everybody, welcome back to TAZS Wig Closet at Wig Studio One. I'm going to present a Tressallure style for you today. This is one of their newer releases. It's called Wavy Mid-Length Shag. Kind of a boring title, but not a boring style. I'm going to show it to you in the color Butter Walnut, which is a 10-20. We're going to talk about this color, style, and especially this unique cap coming up. This wig was sent to me by Wig Studio One for this review today. Be sure to expand the description box below where you'll find a product link and a promo code. We do invite you to shop at the Wig Studio One if you have a question about this style or any other. Be sure to reach out to support@wigstudio1.com. They're always ready to help. Tressallure's wavy mid-length shag is actually a wavy short-length shag. This is definitely a short style, especially on me when I'm about 6.5 inches from my hairline to my chin, and definitely a short cut here. So a little bit of a misnomer. I love a lot of layers, especially around the face. I think it's very, very flattering to many face shapes and ages. But before we get into the specs, let's take a look at this color, 10-20 Butter Walnut. It starts with a light brown, and that brown is more ash in tone. I mean, it's the lightest of brown, almost a dark blonde. And then it's heavily highlighted with what appears to me to be a neutral blonde. A light neutral blonde highlight. Now those highlights you're gonna see are going to be more concentrated on the top and around the front. But I do see that they are blended throughout the style. Now this is not a rooted color, but I think it looks very dynamic, and there almost appears to be a little bit of root coming in just because of the stark contrast between the highlight and the main body of the color. It's a really beautiful color. A lot of times when you get into those light browns, if they're not highlighted just right, it can be very boring and kind of mousy, dishwater looking. And this one definitely isn't boring. It's a beautiful color. It says it has about a 4.5 inch bang. Now that may be true right around from the front down right here, because it does strike me where a 4.5 inches typically would. But these little middle pieces here have been taken down and dirtied so much. And what I mean is kind of notch cut, where they're very wispy and just kind of shorter. Every other one is a little shorter or longer. So it does break it up quite a bit, and that is really characteristic of a shag style like this. And that's gonna be right around 3.5 inches because I know my measurement from hairline down. So anywhere from 3.5 inches to 4.5, then you've got a layer coming off of the side, which would stretch down to about 6. Probably 5 to 6 inches. It all swoops in to frame the face so nicely, and that's what we love about the shags. And then in the back, there's a 4.5 inch crown, but you know, there are so many multiple layers going on in the back there. Now there's a 3.5 inch nape, which delivers really amazing coverage. You're gonna love the nape. Covers up any biological hairline that you may have. So this cap, we're talking about a lace front, monofilament, and completely hand tied. I'm going to devote a little bit of time to this cap. It's rather unique and has a lot of nice features. I think there is an ideal client in mind for a cap like this. Now this is an extremely light density shag style. So like I said, it's been thinned out and taken down to where it has a wispy appeal. The fibers are very baby fine and dry, very feathery. So it's an extremely light density. If you are a new wig wearer, sometimes it can be daunting with a style that has a lot of volume and hair because you're not quite used to it. This might actually be a good start for you if you are looking for one of those lower density shag style cuts. Talking permatease. So you're not going to find any of that traditional wiry permatease on this style. It's a completely hand-tied cap, and they don't typically use like a bottom tease, the short wiry hairs. However, on this cap, what they do is they will scallop one end of the fiber. Okay, it's kind of like a little teasing effect at the root. And you're going to find that mostly where those integrated weftings are. See a little bit of scalloping there at the root of this fiber. Now what that's going to do a couple of things. It's going to give a little bit of lift to the fiber without it adding any extra fiber, because remember, this is a super light density style. And it's going to help obscure any of the cap features that you don't want to see. Here's an inside look at the cap for Wavy Mid-Length Shag by Tressallure. There's that lace front. It runs temple to temple. It does not extend back into the ear tab. It is considered to be a French lace front. The knots start about halfway back into that lace, but then it's immediately followed up with a thick seam there that leads into this double ply monofilament top. Let's not forget there is a strip of polyurethane here. So if you do have hair loss at the front, this will give you a nice comfortable feeling and secure fit. So that double monofilament top is a mesh base, and then on the top more of a nylon type material there. I think it gives a very nice look from the top, no matter how you would like to part it. They do use a velvet style ear tab. Now that ear tab is one of the thickest, most sturdy ear tabs I've ever seen on a style. Given the fact that this cap is so lightweight, so pliable all the way around, and then boom, you've got these like iron sides on the side here. Those wire stays literally run all the way through this ear tab. It's very thickly constructed too, so the diameter of that is just a very thick ear tab. Like I said, I haven't seen one quite like that before, and it's a little bit interesting that it's so thick and fortified when the rest of the cap is so delicate. Now here you'll have a standard velvet nape with Velcro style adjusters, yet some more polyurethane on the back. It's a completely hand-tied mesh base. However, you will see some integrated wefting there as well. And all of this is meant to give you great comfort and security. I just think that for someone who has a lot of biological hair or hair at the hairline, there could be some issues there. Now also, this cap does not have a lot of stretch, but it's average right out of the box. You'll notice that I had to cinch in the adjusters as far as they would go to accommodate a petite average circumference. So I feel like this would be very much average, might even be able to stretch up to average large. So I really think that the quality of the materials is very, very nice. But if you do have a widow's peak or some biological hair, I suggest you try to match that as closely as possible with the wig hair color, because what you're going to run into is that French lace front is very, very sheer, and it really provides no cover at all for the biological hair underneath. And I don't think that's a deal breaker for a good lace front. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But what happens is that directly behind that lace front, there's a very thick seam. And that seam, you can even feel it. It's very thick and it's quite obvious. So if I wanted to pull the hair away from the face to show off that lace front, I'm going to have to do something to cover that seam, and I don't want to have to do that for a hand-tied cap that costs as much as this does. So that's another reason why I think that if you do have some hair loss at the hairline, or if you have total hair loss, this would be an amazing cap. This style is right out of the box. I simply gave it a shake, applied it to my head. There wasn't a whole lot I had to do. I woke up the fiber just a little bit with a picking and fluffing motion, but no product was used on this hair. Let's talk about glasses. The glasses seem to fit beautifully between the ear and the ear tab, even though those ear tabs are quite substantial. There's very little hair density there, nor is there any permatease. So it does fit, make a nice secure fit for glasses between the ear and the ear tab. Thanks again for joining me today for a look at Tressallure's wavy mid-length shag in the color Butter Walnut, which is 1020. We'll talk again soon at TAZS Wig Closet at Wig Studio 1.